Oh, they can't. What?
There we go.
Okay, now they can hear.
You guys can hear it now.
Oh, why don't you do the intro again?
So, welcome to the Threadlings of Filmmaking Production Diary. I'm Miguel Ortega, and this is Drama.
Hello, everyone.
So, yeah, welcome, guys. Sorry about that. We are talking about the making of a film in Unreal Engine 5, and Tran is working on the interior of like a coliseum, not a coliseum, like a just like a little theater, but it has to be a small theater. What is a good reference to look at is look at like theater workshops.
Theater workshops.
Yeah,
They just look like little.
no, take a look at them.
Okay, let's Google that.
They're like mini theaters.
Why don't you share your screen and show me what you're showing?
Let me find.
Yeah, but I think they are not quite. They look like really small. Like when I Google theater workshops, they're like this.
Yeah, this is it's not that big of a thing. We don't want to have like 100 extras.
No, I
No.
always pictured that the scene has like a lot. Well, you mean like this? Like
Yeah, I think it should be like that.
at this scale for Zort speech? You don't think that's just too small?
I mean, maybe it could be a little bit bigger, but I don't think it should be that massive.
Okay.
You know, there's a few things to keep in mind here. So at the end, when the whole fight breaks out, remember that caught and what's his name, Shrog, are gonna have a confrontation, right? And we don't want them going up the stairs for that.
Caught. What do you mean?
Like they get into a fight, Caught and Shrog.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You mean at the very, no, I don't know which scene you're
At the
talking about.
very end.
The ending.
Yeah.
Well, you thought the ending was going to be here? I always thought it was going to be the final fight was going to be in the rotunda
Okay, so let's just do that then.
because it's open from above,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Uh,
the final fight is not going to be in the rotunda. Of course, it's not going to be in the rotunda. When he bursts into the set at the end,
it's this set.
yeah,
Okay. Um, so we want to keep it smaller. But then couldn't I just, when I look at this though, like let's say it's like at a regular theater, I could still, I mean, I still need a sense of design. Um, and ultimately, like I think all the spaces we end up using for all our scenes have been the bigger spaces, and we haven't used any of the smaller spaces, right? So when we look at like the hall, when Zort turns bonkers, it's the bigger section of the hall. Like we don't even use the small section of the hall.
yeah,
So I feel like we should be bigger because the other set was it feels too small. Do you see what I mean?
yeah,
Like I don't think it should be this big. Um, but I don't need to make it this big. I still need, but I need design ideas. So what I'm looking at are two different references. This one, which is just really a simple kind of dome, right? And again, it doesn't have to be this big, but it's just a sense of design. And then this is like I think this is the same location, kind of like the reverse view. And then there's like always some kind of ceiling thing here. But again, this all could be made to be like smaller scale or longer.
much smaller scale than that. If we do something even remotely that size, we will never ever get it done.
Okay, so then like this size.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so then in any case, I'm just gonna block this out. Um, but aesthetically, do you think like a dome like this, or like more like the arches like this? I still want a nice, like a nicer arch.
Yeah, either one is fine.
Okay.
The main thing I would just keep, I would, in my opinion, just kit bash whatever we have and just keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, but I can't kit bash without a basic block out.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't know what I'm bashing to unless I have like some kind of basic thing.
Let's see who's here today. So Claire, Daria. Hello, hello. Netbug.
Okay, so let's say,
I like that expression. Look, that actually came through. We normally don't see those sort of things.
yeah.
That's cool.
Now the set does have to be big enough to have like the prop moth, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know what to call this. I'll call this stage. And let's bring in the prop moth. One second. Okay. Here it is.
This is like a fake moth that they use kind of like the danger room in X-Men.
Is this size correct? Or is it really small?
It's a little small, but I think that might be okay.
Well, yeah, I want to plan for it maybe to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's fine. The reason why I say it might be okay is there's something cool about you thinking this thing is not that big of a threat, and then it looks even goofier there. And then
Yeah.
when you see the final thing, the real one, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things like we want in this stage, like and again, I don't want to just start bashing pieces together without even knowing what I'm doing. Because I know that it needs a tunnel for it to come through. And it's not that big, but the wingspan makes it big. I don't want to deal with like collisions. So like the old set that we have, um, didn't really have this planned out. I just built the thing, and I wasn't sure how it's supposed to work out. So I don't want to make the same mistake.
This project was the way it was executed from the beginning was very, very stupid.
Yeah,
We really we like started production before we did basically everything that you hear about a Hollywood studio doing, and you go, wow, they're so stupid. Uh, I would never do that, and then we did exactly that, right? Like, let's start building the sets without having the script, and then uh, nothing makes sense.
no, and then that's kind of frustrating. Okay, so let's say like I think I want the stage to be more round. Um, this feels nicer, or do you think it should be flat? Like, okay, so that's like let's say that's like the stage, right? That's the tunnel. And then like I just want this size to be correct. So like again, I see no point in doing all this and then all my dimensions are wrong. So you want to have a lot of room, right? Let's say this is the stage. Is that too big? Considering like this is how big the tunnel needs to be, right? Like we want this to be able to flap its wing and everything like that. Be comfortable.
Yeah, there is rain sounds.
Okay. Then the room would be not much bigger than this, right? Maybe the
Yeah.
stage. I mean, ideally, it would be nice to be perfectly circular. I think maybe that's not very.
We are working on a big stage for a scene where this character gives a big monologue. Don't we have this scene rendered?
Uh, I have it. Yeah, we did it. We did it together in the edit. Like we did a test of him doing that, but not on this actual set.
Yeah, but I think we should show that. Yeah, let me show that because it's so cool.
Yeah.
So this is what this is for. Uh,
And the killing darkness of the night time. Fear of death. Yeah. Recalling the prophecy's promise of victory. Not your way. Blessed by the heavens, I stood emboldened. Unleash the mob.
so
In the chilling
let me make
darkness
sure.
of the moth hive, fear of death gripped me. Yet, recalling the prophecy's promise of victory, my fear waned. Blessed by the heavens, I stood emboldened.
So there you go.
Unleash the moth.
But you're not sharing your screen.
Okay, there we go. So this
In the
is it right
chilling
here.
darkness of the moth hive, fear of death gripped me. Yet, recalling the prophecy's promise of victory, my fear waned. Blessed by the heavens, I stood emboldened. Unleash the moth.
So you can see he's a total little douchebag, but
In the chilling
he's so
darkness
cool.
of the moth hive,
So this is
fear
going to
of
be his
death
speech. So
gripped me.
this was done.
Yet, recalling the
Let me lower the
prophecy's
volume here. This was done for a presentation we had at Rideback showing our progress on the Threadlings. And so this is him showing off and talking all this crap.
Yeah. So that's his performance for this stage
Yeah.
that I want to make.
So he'll be on the stage and then he's going to have all his adoring fans looking at him like thinking he's hot. He's like super studly for a Threadling.
I, I don't know. There's couples in this world.
There isn't couples.
There isn't, right?
No. But he's still hot.
Well,
So
they all want to be him.
they all want to be him.
They want to be his friend.
Yeah. So he would be up on the stage and then all the other Threadlings would be down below looking at him thinking, wow, he's so cool. And he's just a little pompous ass,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
His face is very. I see this comment here. Oh my god, his facial expression looks so cool.
Yeah.
Shraga did those
So
expressions.
those expressions are done by Shraga Weiss, who's the face supervisor at Blur. Animated by Celine from Gnomon. She animated this. We did have motion capture that was done by Kevin. What was his last name? He was so great. Kevin Allen. He was amazing. We met him at a film festival, and the film he was in was basically him being possessed by an Ouija board. And it was such physical performance. We're like, oh, this guy's great. Let's bring him in. And I knew exactly how I wanted this guy to perform. So I acted it out for him. I'm like, I need him to be really big. I want him to be like a bad actor.
Yeah.
And very much inspired also by like Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas when he's doing the speech about Halloween Town. But Jack Skellington is actually cool, where this guy's not that cool. But he's not a bully or anything. He's just kind of full of himself. But yeah, so we got the mocap. Celine cleaned it up big time. There was no face stuff, so she did all the facial work, which looks fantastic.
Yeah, so Shraga does all the facial modeling and
The blend shapes, yeah.
yeah, and then Celine's the animator. And then Sasha textured this.
Sasha textured this, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
And I do poop work on it. So,
yeah,
yeah, but it's cool. So that's his performance here.
yeah. So I'm very very happy with how that is turning out. So we just need a cool stage for him. And one of the things that we're gonna do is he's gonna be, so when he's on the stage, you're gonna see like a, not like a hologram because it's using magic, but it's gonna almost feel like you're in a moth tunnel, and but you're not. And then you're gonna see almost like a portal to another dimension, but it's all just an illusion. And it's him basically showing off and talking shit about how badass he is. But then when the real moth comes,
Well, he gets destroyed.
he gets killed. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is too big.
that's too big.
The issue is that this has to be big, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You make that too big, Zil. I'm telling you, we're never gonna finish this thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be like 200 extras. Nothing will render.
Okay, so how about
Yeah,
this? The maximum of the room.
yeah,
Because right, like he needs like space to move around up around here, right?
yeah,
And if you're going for Greek style, what Greek style does is it fans out,
yeah.
right? So then if you don't care about the Greek style, the fact that it's curved in the back,
You see, Sohi and Daria are totally in love with Zort. You see, I told you he's hot. Look, so he's like, look, I keep staring at his forehead wrinkles. So nice. You see? He's a studly threadling.
okay. Now, smaller than that? Or do we just stitch this fan in the back? Because what's making the size of the face bigger is this tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is that still too
That looks better.
okay?
Yeah, Celine is amazing. She's so good. What is going on with my Maya file? My Maya file is not opening. Zort is very cool. I really like that design. That was a design that I really thought we were really worried if he was gonna fit in this world at all because he just looked kind of like a weird jester. But what I wanted to do is I thought the hat could kind of reveal that he's a demon, but it feels almost like a jester in the beginning, so he kind of looks goofy with it. But then you use it almost like like an insect. So uh, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, the hat ended up being a cool thing. Like it's a crown, but it's also a gesture hat. I mean, he
Yeah.
essentially becomes a puppet. So
Yeah, what's really awesome is the way we had it rigged by Steven is to really get all the sim on the hat to behave naturally and just kind of respond to his movement. I really like that. So you don't have to animate the hat stuff until you want to do like custom stuff, but if he just walks around, the hat just kind of responds to the hat. The hat responds to the movement of his body naturally. You get all of that like dynamic stuff for free, which is great.
okay, so let's like contain this space. So to me, like I know this doesn't look very exciting, but it's pretty important. Um, I don't know how much of the tunnel we need there. With the ceiling, maybe like this high,
Yeah.
I guess, and then maybe this in the wall, the here.
Oh man. This week we had to present our pitch for The Voice in the Hollow. The feature, like present the entire script outline. Went really well.
Yeah.
We worked really hard to get that thing to where we got it to, and everybody really liked it, which we were very happy about.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's we were up until like 4 in the morning some days, 5 in the morning, just working on this stuff. But it all turned out great.
Okay, so like that's the space. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect.
Now, I do want to like so like where in the walkways, for example. I want this planned out. I don't want to redo this.
So it's usually one in the center and then one on
Right.
each side.
Like here, right? So then there will be chairs in
Yeah,
here.
probably like that.
Yeah, so I guess maybe,
I would use the stools that we already have.
yeah, I wouldn't use those two. I already built benches.
That's what I'm saying. Those things, the benches. Throw those benches on that guy.
Yeah, this still does add up to quite a few extras.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I was like, that other one is like 1,000 extras. Remember on
This
Voice
is,
in the Hollow, like we didn't really have that many guys in the ceremony, and it was about to die.
yeah. Well, we were able to hide them in the dark too. Um, it was like a fire scene and stuff like that. You just put a fire in front of people. It looks cool. I don't know. Yeah, if this is still too many,
No, that's fine.
because there'll be like 3 here, there'll be 4. This probably increases to like you gotta do 5. You gotta put like 6, 6, 5, 4, 3. Maybe just add that. Do the math. Yeah, so we're very practical in the design, as you can guys see. 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus
That's 18,
18 times.
36, 72.
That's still 72 extras.
Yeah, but you're not gonna see them all in
No,
one
maybe
shot.
probably not. You might have one.
Besides, we have those crazy graphics cards now, so
Yeah. Well, and their alembics could be smaller. And then the other thing is just the reverse.
Those guys you could probably bring in as FBX files.
You think so?
Some of them for sure. They're just so basic. Okay, let's see.
Let's say the stage is like this. Okay. I'll just use this to plug stuff in.
One of the things I hate the most is referencing files when we get them from our animators. Oh, it's such a nightmare to relink everything. So let's see.
This is my super fancy walkway.
Everything is made out of cloth.
Yeah.
So are you thinking maybe you could use the big rug that you've already made and just throw it there and then just create the outer wall?
Well, I don't think the rugs is as hard as the walls. So I would try to reuse the rug. But the wall would be something I don't want to remake unless I really had to.
No, Daria asked if we have a shared server. The way we work with our files is very basic. So if it's with our freelancers, we have like our animators, it's all through Dropbox. It's very not cool.
Oh, file server, what's that?
Yeah, we have to step up. Yeah, we need to.
We have to work super simple. As soon as you start getting complicated, then you need to have some like a lot of effort and time just put into managing
The part
organization of
No,
files.
part of the problem is also like we just jumped right into this. This is kind of going back to what we were saying. We really should have been like, okay, let's set this pipeline up. What are we going to do with file sharing? What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? And then jumped into we just had to get right into this. And that made it crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my pathway, right? And then plot will roll up. You probably want to build maybe this stage from scratch because maybe like I want some steps up here. I do have some steps, I think, somewhere that I can use. And then the back here is like a curved, I have to do a curved wall. I don't know how much curved kind of walls we have. With the ceiling though, could the ceiling be higher?
Feeling could be as tall as you want.
But maybe I'd like to do something like that.
That was made.
But yeah, this is a small space. Now, I do think I want to feel like it feels small. Maybe what I'd want to do is okay, the seats end here, and then you have like, this space here where there's nobody sitting. That way the space feels bigger, and then you don't have to have too many extras. You're just designing it in that kind of way. You don't want the seat to go right up to it. Well, I don't want the seat to go right up to the wall. They definitely do go right up to the wall. What do you think of that, Miguel? Like that's the path back here. That way, and there's nobody sitting here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
I would. You know what's? I mean, I hate to pull this up, but give me 1 second.
other thing I can do?
I was looking at some of the theaters from like Germany, like during World War II. Like they had the most epic theaters, but man, every time I see those theaters, they freak me out. They're terrifying. They're beautiful designed, but they're just so evil looking, just so messed up looking, horrible. Um, but
Okay, so, well, Miguel, are you pulling up? Are you showing stuff?
no, I'm setting up. I mean, I could show what I'm working on right now. So after the Zort fight, when goes after them, I'm setting up the cameras here, and I know we are talking about this with Tran earlier. Like one of the things that we're trying to do more on the Threadlings, Voice in the Hollow did not have enough of this. I feel to a fault, because I tended to get too tight on the characters on Voice in the Hollow. Partially was because of a lot of the exterior stuff just didn't light very pretty in my opinion. So we tended to go tighter so that the shots look better. But I want to put more like really tight shots, which I love. That's totally my style is tight shots. But then I want to cut to really wide shots and like stuff like this where they're being chased. I love how they look when they're like little guys, when they look like little dudes. So this is just going to be Cotton Mayo getting chased by Zort, and then this crazy World Wrestling Federation level fight is going to break out here between them and this super powerful Threadling that could completely kick their ass.
Yeah.
You could see how the hat is completely responding. That jump is, of course, just for placeholder, but this is how
This fight is fun.
this fight is going to be so fun because this is where you really start seeing like what they each bring, what makes them heroes, and it's going to be really cool. And Mayo's going to show his awesome abilities and Kot's bravery. Because Kot is not that great, but he's super brave.
Yeah. He has all the traits of a hero. He's not a good mage. He's better.
You know, some people say like some people were like, remember in the writing program they were like, well, would he be brave if he has a stutter? And I was like, my brother has a stutter, and my brother will fight anybody. He will fight any man alive. He'll fight him. So he's completely uh, not afraid, right? But he just still has that issue with speech. I'm like, absolutely, you could totally be brave as a fighter and still be afraid of speaking.
Okay, so this is what I want to do with the room. This is still too big. Like this would be the seating area. I can shrink that so that can do this.
I can't see it.
So this is not easy for me because I want to have a space that looks cool. But at the same time, it has to be small. Like, okay, that's the seating area right
Yeah,
there. This is the extra space that has nobody sitting. And that way I have a cool looking room. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then when you're not I don't want it like it's contradicting. So we want like this scale, basically. But to feel like pretty like
I mean, I'll
this
tell you what I like about that bottom left one, for example.
this one?
That one. It looks like you're in a classroom. It looks like that is a theater classroom, right? Whereas the other one looks like it's there for presentations. These guys are in class, right? That's the difference.
Yes. But I do better when I just get to design things that look nice.
Sure.
Do you want the room to look like that? Like
No, I'm just
rinky dink?
no, no, I don't. I think it should look beautiful, but I'm just saying.
Sure. It's never going to feel like this because, like, just like if you take a space like this and you need to go, oh, I'm going to remodel this, I'm going to turn it half circle. And then you decide, oh, I want to have like walkways, all, you know,
Yeah, but then you don't put the walkways.
but how does cot roll into class light, right? So he literally rolls in.
Cot comes in through the side.
Okay.
Cot comes in. The doors would be.
Comes in through. So you would have doors here
Remember, Zort turns around and looks completely to his left, almost like he stormed in,
to his left.
like
So right here,
even more,
right here.
like that.
I mean, it's not too hard to limit the space. What we want is, what I'm trying to say is, no matter what you do, if you start introducing walkways, it's going to look fancier,
Yeah.
right? So maybe we can do walkways like this, here and here, which is not bad because then what that does is minimize the seating space.
Yeah.
So we could probably get away with a few rows back here
Yeah.
and then a curved wall. Yeah. Okay, so then maybe the doorways will be this many doors. Where does that go?
Yeah. That's it.
Where the pink is right here.
Mhm.
And I can change the size later. So for example, if I decide maybe this has to be more narrow, we can do that. And just plan for this to be more open. Let's shrink it here. Get rid of this weird fake carpet.
Camera. Forward.
The other thing I'm trying to do, like in terms of just designing this, is, you know, I just want it to be a circle. Like just make it simple. It also becomes more modular. The only thing is that the stage is not very circular. Maybe I'll just shrink it.
Today's stream, by the way, is going to be a little bit shorter because I have to run to Gnomon to meet with someone.
So is this enough space on the stage? How does this sit?
Yes, that's for sure.
Okay. And the moss is going to come out of here.
Yeah.
I want to pop the hole there. And then this is the seating area.
Yes.
And we're good with the size. Let's make sure everything is circle. If I work like that, then I will end up with something where it's very modular. And anything new I haven't built will be not so difficult. Okay, so now I want to plan this. As for the walkway. Maybe that. Well, you guys get to see how I thought things out. Okay. Okay, so now they're very equal.
There, I hear the rain now. I hear the rain. Okay, so they're running like this.
You can show your stuff on the little screen.
What I'm working on? Oh, yeah, I should. How do I do that?
I'm lost organizing this. I don't know where to do it. All right. So I just want to make sure I don't have to do everything good. Let's place some extras. So again, none of this looks exciting, but it's all like pre-planning. Yeah, no mistakes. Turn this into like kind of a grid. Okay, so he's gonna have this much space, but the audience is not gonna go completely right up to it. So he's gonna have one kind of gap.
Okay. Camera.
And I'm gonna end up with 4 rows. And then about good. And that's we don't want it to look like bad background. But I think they're all this here will inform me. So when it comes to like stuff like this, doing sets, we put a lot into a lot of thought, like how high is the ceiling, how big is the space, how many characters does that fill, how many, can we do it? And that's before we get to like any of the artistic stuff. I think I can get away with four extras here. And come back here. These areas to big already. Make sure I don't have duplicates. Creepy fort. Maybe something like extra small. Kind of medium. Let's grab this in. Let's see. 545. 42 degrees. Right. How many houses in terms of dress? Probably has to be smaller.
Look at that little army of dudes. That's perfect. You know, you could have one more row above like a balcony if you wanted to. It's up to you. So like if you have like
A
so
reverse shot.
yeah, if you have a reverse shot, I think honestly I think that's fine. Can you hide that back wall and let's just look at the reverse?
Yeah. I was gonna hide it that. Just cut an ugly hole. To ugly block up here. Okay. I'll fix it all later. Okay, so the wall will be like that. And when he looks in reverse, let's do 5. Have the walls go up higher. Okay, so that's the reverse.
I think that's good. You know, maybe something to consider is giving the rows a little bit more breathing space. That way you could push them back further. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think if you have too many space between these guys,
It'll look empty.
yeah, it won't look like a, you know what I mean?
Like
Now
what?
the good thing is like you don't always see these guys on the side,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
No, I'm just think. Yeah, I think that's fine.
you could put like you could put a row up. Like a lot of these have balconies, but that becomes that fancy and that just increases the value. Like a lot of these
Yeah,
will have second floor. But you don't want that, right?
I mean, I would love it. It's just it becomes
Crazy.
heavy. Yeah. You know, you could have a balcony, but
I say like sometimes if you have a shot like this, you don't see all the people inside.
yeah. But what is that? What are you trying to say with that?
Well, if you had, if you put them up here, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah. I see what you're saying.
yeah. I think I might still want, even if no one can sit there, like
Have it
maybe,
built.
yeah. So maybe it's like a railing, like a walkway.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to have people sitting there. There's a limitation, like how big our group, a crowd could be. And again, just trying to think about like um, how to make a space grand with that limitation. With like block a balcony. The good thing about everything curved like this is I can um, make it super modular and remove like sections already made. So it's good. Like, here, like the awesome balcony. And then we can have some structure. Or something like this. What do you think? And I can build like
Yeah, that's great.
a door here. Well, I want to build a door where you have doors. And you have doors here. And then it looks nice and compact. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me save. I'm not going to build this back here, of course. It's a bit safe. Let's save it. Okay. All right. So now that I have that, I want to build the space. Well, doorway sucks. So I already know. Um, as far as things I want to reuse, like usually the most complex stuff, it takes a lot of effort. Like archway, doorways, like opening. I don't want to remake that. I want to see what I've made so far, and then place those in. And then like just replace the walls, the doors first.
I just got a bunch of messages from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Right there.
This is the process, guys.
It's fun times.
Yeah. At this part, again, it was super boring to watch, and it seems really easy, but I can't say how many times we're planning has like really messed me up.
I think when I see you do that stuff, I think it's one of the most important things. Like you are not jumping into
Yeah,
this stuff until you have it figured out at this level. And by doing that, all your stuff is always easily duplicatable and instanced. So this stuff that you're doing right now is probably the most important lesson.
yeah. Well, it is. Um, I just went to Zortrim because I like some of the structure. Zortrim was also re-kit bashed. It took a long time because you can. These are really heavy. So I'm just seeing if I like anything from here. This re-kit bash was tough. Did have to build a couple new pieces, but not that many. Yeah, I don't think I want to. I had to build a window that was new, but I want to reuse these columns and kind of like these wall motifs. Yeah, it's super slow because these are all like extremely dense, but these are red crystals.
So you're thinking like, how can we reuse those?
Yeah, I just thought I might have something better
I think
because
that
it's slightly.
I think that's great because that already has that kind of uh, theater look to it.
Yeah,
Just I wouldn't go red with it. Just put the red in the.
let's go back.
Okay, so let's see. So I could show a little bit here. So let me just show. So now I'm just again I'm thinking about this chase here. So going back to what I was saying earlier, I want more wide shots. So this animation is super blocked in. But I like this, like an angle like this, where you're just following along very side profile. But then you start getting like the stairs coming in to give you some depth, which I think is cool. It probably wouldn't even use this part here. Probably would be used right around here. That way you could have those stairs going wow,
Yeah,
through the
Zart.
front.
That was so funny.
Yeah. So that would be one shot, and shot two would be this one here. And for a shot like this, probably do like a very simple cushion like that. Or maybe not. Let's see, like what would happen if we brought this. And let's see, linear the tangent. You can see I'm just trying to, when I'm setting up my cameras, if I could get interesting shapes here. So, if I get this to be more of an angle, it's going to make for a much more interesting shot. Epic Pen they're so annoying with their update. Like, just calm down. You do one thing and you do it well. You don't need to update the new version. But anyway, this uh, feels more interesting. Like if I were to do it like this, it would feel a little bit too flat. Like that, I kind of want this diagonal look, so that's pretty cool. And now this one is clearly very flat, but that's kind of intentional. Like it's showing the actual running. So I kind of like that. And maybe what we would do here is put like some of the chandeliers here, right? So then we have that parallax as they're running across it. Just love how they look when they're like little guys like this.
Yeah.
Let's export this one as well. I'm exporting these and getting them out to our animator who is in Turkey. So you go back to your thing.
I'm sorry. We have prop kits laid out somewhere in the file. You remember all of them. I don't have them laid out. It's too heavy. They're all in individual scenes like this. They've already been imported into Unreal. So basically, I don't have to import them to Unreal. I don't know how they're laid out. The process by which I do this is I just go, well, I need a door. I know I made 2 doors. And I don't want to make more because they're a lot of work. So I am going to use this for sure, right? This door can swing open, for example, and I know I need like 5. What was the count? I don't know, 5 doors at the bottom or something like that. And then I just find like wall pieces that I need. And the issue with this here, this one fits pretty well. Now I'm thinking like I want it to be higher, right? So here's like a tall arch. They they all come from each other, and you can tell like the material coating on each one, like where it's pink and all that stuff. That means they're sharing the same textures. So I did that all manually at some point. And I just want to reuse this. So I want to determine like these are probably my key pieces, but the way it looks are all these right here. Um, and then Zort will have his own sections, but most of it is in here. And then there's like, if I build another section, they will have their unique thing. But the ideal thing is like maybe not to do anything unique unless I have to. So I want to bring these two in. And the scene's gonna get really heavy. It's probably because that moth is like really dense already. So this is gonna get slow. What's crazy is like if this wasn't Unreal, it just flies. Where's my game? Yeah. But I do all this really heavy block out, and then I redo the block out in Unreal with the actual pieces that have already been imported. I don't want to import them. It's a little like a little bit more time consuming, but it saves more in space. It's more efficient. Okay, here we are. Put that door here. Let's bring our ground back in. Okay, just lost this zero assignment. Very weird. Yeah, okay, so this lost all its material assignments. I think that's fine. I'm not gonna make this. Just gonna take this block out.
I like seeing the little guys.
Push this back. Okay. Okay, so looking at that, like that's higher.
The way we're gonna want to light this is the stuff in the back really falls off in terms of the lighting, right? Like you want the light to feel like it is all on the stage, and everyone else is kind of
Yeah, definitely. You just want them to get dark very quickly, so you don't have to see like a lot of like facial performance and stuff like that. Look for the tall arch.
I want to see if
What are you trying to look for?
this right here. Okay.
Sure. Maximize your screen.
Uh, Look at that. Look at that. That wall light. That scones, man.
Oh, that's set. This movie looks amazing. But you're trying to see like his stage, basically.
Well, not his stage. I want to see that. That's what I'm more interested in. Like, look at
The crowd.
the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, the space doesn't feel really big or anything.
It doesn't.
No.
There's a wider shot though. But like, okay, like that shot right there. Like, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. 2 in the back, so 10 characters.
Yeah. They're I mean, if is that like that's the size we want to feel, right?
Yeah, this is like a good size because it doesn't feel tiny or anything. But let me see, there's some wider shots. Like, look at even these. Like, I think like a lot of it is the distance to the stage makes it feel bigger. Like, look at that. There's just not that many. Like, that's probably your widest.
Yeah, that's probably the widest. It looks like it has 20 characters.
Yeah, this one. So what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 20 at most. And like the background, like these skeletons are just like they're filler characters. They're just dangling on a tree.
Yeah.
This is the shot that I adore.
Which one?
This POV shot here.
I like the lighting there.
This stuff. Oh, I love that. It feels very handheld but stop motiony. Like this is like when I was thinking about like Zort like just mesmerizing the crowd. Like that's totally that. You see, they're all in love with him.
Yeah, they are. They all like,
They worship him.
yeah.
That's what I mean by in love, right? I don't literally mean like they want to have his baby. I just mean like they just look at him and they're like, oh my God, he's so cool.
They don't want to have his baby.
So beautiful. You see, it's really not that big. I think one of those heads twitched a little. Yeah, but that's it. They just like barely twitched. Anyway, that's one of the best movies ever made, possibly.
So I'm digging up an arch. I like how that looks. Okay. Let's give it like clean numbers. I kind of wish I could just feel more comfortable blocking out like things like this in Unreal. I'm just not.
Because their pivots are just freaking worst.
Yeah, you can't like. You just can't. I can't handle their pivoting. I can't handle the navigation. I've never had a program where I just find it's so difficult. Like, yeah, I know you can do this and that, but like
It's not intuitive.
I don't see myself ever modeling in that program. It's just the handling of it is like just crappy to me.
So, yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie so much. And it's so damn simple. The story in that is so freaking simple.
Yeah, it's great. It's got a great score. I think it's just executed really well.
The best score.
Okay, finally. What I'm trying to do now is figure out how to piece this together. I think I built a piece like here.
Yeah, I think I watch it every year. I just love it.
I do have a piece. What was that called? Main arch, tall, whole patch.
You know, all of that guy, not all of them, because one of them is not so beloved, but um, Henry Selick is the one that actually directed Nightmare Before Christmas, and so damn good. Coraline is so damn good. Jack James and the Giant Peach is very cool. I don't love it the same way, but it's very, very cool. It looks so amazing. The one I didn't see was what was it called? Was it called Monkey Paw? It might have been called Monkey Paw, huh?
What's called monkey paw?
Monkey Bone, not Monkey Paw. Nightmare Before Christmas is 30 years old, 31 years old. It still looks great. Thing is, that movie will never not look great. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that I love about stop motion is it just looks great forever. You could look at these old Russian stop motion movies, Polish stop motion movies that are 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, and they still look incredible.
Okay, my computer is going to crash.
I don't know if you remember Jim Pearl. He was the cinematographer on Drag Me to Hell VFX stuff that we did the miniature stuff for. He was one of the he lit a lot of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like he lit, I think, the entire Sally song. He lit that stuff. He did some really incredible stuff. And I always follow his Facebook page because he always posts really awesome, like old school VFX history stuff. If anybody wants to follow someone who does cool stuff, it's Jim a Pearl. Let me put it here. This guy. But he always posts like this sort of like old school VFX history stuff and matte paintings, and he himself he's been doing this forever. So what a lot of people don't realize is Tippett Studios was originally a stop motion animation studio that became one of the the most important VFX companies, digital effects. Some of their VFX hold up better than any other digital effects for its time. Like Starship Troopers still holds up great, for example. So Tippett was doing really bad for a while, and they didn't want to lay off all their employees while I guess they were figuring out what the hell we're gonna do with this CG stop motion stuff or the transition. And all their employees, or not all of them, but a lot of their employees were lent to go do Nightmare Before Christmas, and they did Nightmare Before Christmas, and then they all went back to Tippett, and they all like a lot of them learned how to do digital effects, even though they were all like practical effects, stop motion people.
I'm trying to find.
That's this guy here. So Jim Pearl. So like this kind of stuff, I just love this. Like this is Millicent Patrick. She was, in my opinion, like the best creature designer from like the old days of Hollywood, but she didn't get any credit while she was alive because she was a woman and she was badass. She designed the Metaluna mutant, who is the best creature design, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the best creature design. Like all her stuff is the best, and she designed all of it. And look how awesome she looks. Like she's kicking everyone's ass, and she's got like this old school like the pearls and stuff. Like she dresses like my grandma. It's so awesome. But at the time, that was awesome. Like, look, she's freaking kick ass. So her boss took all the credit, but she was doing all the cool stuff, and all her designs are the stuff that is the most iconic to this day.
Her boss took all the credit.
Her boss took all the credit. Like she now is known as the creator of the Creature from the Black Lagoon, so she's gotten the credit. But while she was alive, she didn't get
The recognition.
the recognition that she deserved at all. Yeah.
That sucks.
But yeah, this guy just posts like this is the stuff he posts all the time. Like I just love this stuff because it's so great. Like the man who laughs. So that's where the Joker comes from. So cool. So speaking of like the best creature designers of all time, Jack Pierce is the guy that designed Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and he designed the Man Who Laughs, which is this guy here, who is what the Joker was based off completely, like 100%, 100% was based off of this. So that guy not only designed freaking Frankenstein, he basically is responsible for designing the Joker. I mean, you could see it on these is exactly the same. So another guy super responsible for popular culture today, and he was fired. He was laid off of Universal because he didn't want to update with the times in terms of the techniques that were being used. He didn't want to use like molds and stuff like that for makeup. He wanted to do
Oh, back
everything.
then it was like really old school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so he felt insulted that they were trying to tell him to like use molds and appliances, and he wanted to build it up layer by layer with like this cotton thing that they would use.
But wasn't that stuff like super toxic to them?
It was super toxic to the actors, and it would take forever because every day you would have to resculpt those appliances. So even consistency from shot to shot was much more difficult. But imagine that impact. Like he designed Frankenstein, which is the best creature design ever. That's the most iconic without a doubt. And then designing the Joker.
And
That's
then
pretty cool.
that is pretty cool.
Anyway,
I like it when you tell those stories.
the VFX history, nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Jim is he's pretty badass. Yeah, so he transitioned from practical to digital. But I guess the reason why I was even talking about him is he shares a lot of these old clips from like the stop motion movies from like the 20s or the 30s and whatever. And I played some of them for you recently, and they're so creepy, but they still hold up. They still look incredible. There's something about them that just looks so nightmarish, like a dream that you had. Trying to find some of them here. He posted some that I really loved. Some of they're almost always like Eastern European. Like those guys were the ones doing the most incredible and experimental animation.
I hate it when these things don't fit. Okay.
Okay, so I just found one. Let me see if I can pull it up. And it's funny, you actually, like what I'm about to show, like you even see like this thing is totally what inspired Nightmare Before Christmas's Devil. Like, look at that. It's the same design.
Oh, it totally is, huh?
100%.
That's funny.
Like, look at that. That's total. Like, look at the architecture here. It's very Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's super Nightmare Before Christmas. How old is this?
1933.
What is it called?
The mascot, the Devil's Ball.
It totally looks like a Nightmare Before Christmas inspired from that. That's pretty cool.
But like almost 100 years later, it still looks great.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
I just gotta be careful because some of these things sometimes get very some of their humor could be super offensive, like some racist tropes on some of these.
Oh, that's what you get with really old stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, back to trans cool stuff.
I'm not doing anything cool. I'm just sitting here trying to fit this, um, like in a very precise way, which looks probably very tedious. Whatever I'm trying to do to most people. I'm gonna bring this back in. It's all losses orientation. I basically try to be very precise with this because then I could just use the same values in Unreal. Um, and if it's not precise, I just don't know what to build exactly. Like it's just gonna be a mess. But yeah, this is very tough for me to do in the stream.
Well, we gotta wrap it up early. Remember, I gotta run over to Gnomon.
Yeah, so I want to keep working on this.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, no, like wrap up or do whatever. Let's end it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that meant. Okay, yeah, but we'll have some cool stuff to show. We'll have more of the fight scene to show next week. So can't wait for that. And we'll wrap it up right now. So I got to run to Gnomon. So thank you guys. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone.